What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. Whoo! Oh, what a day. What a day. What a day. You must be excited. Well, maybe not you.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. You like Xbox?
I don't know. I've never owned an Xbox.
You never played with it?
I've played with it before, like twice, but it's not something I go out of my way for.
So you're a PlayStation guy.
PlayStation.
I'm a PlayStation man myself. I don't do no Xboxes, but it sounds like if you are an Xbox fan, you're probably gonna have a fabulous time because you guys are getting an exclusive Barbie-themed Xbox and controller if you guys decide to go into a raffle for the new Barbie movie. Now, you're wondering why I brought this up. It's not movie related. Well, I just wanted to point out that, PlayStation gets Spider-Man skins, gets God of War, gets all this and that, and then, here's little Xbox with Barbie.
That's messed up.
I'm just going at the neck tops of all these
That's
Xbox
messed up,
players. I don't even care. This just proves where everything goes in line.
Yeah, but I think this is just more of as soon as I get it, I'm gonna sell it type of thing. You know what I mean? I don't think unless people are into pink. You know what I mean? I know a lot of men nowadays are like, I'm gonna go watch Barbie and this and that. So people might be into this. I don't know.
Those Xbox players, I don't even care. I used to see memes about this stuff. I used to see memes and everything about like, if you're a PlayStation fan, this, whatever, blah, 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 whatever.
Those old memes.
Yeah.
Back when the war was a thing.
Yeah, well, it's still a thing, I think.
I don't think so.
Slowly.
I think Xbox not too long ago declared their loss.
Yeah, I think it was who knows? Some people might think that Xbox is still ahead of itself. Some people might be ignorant like that. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I don't know. Let me ask you. If this Barbie thing came in a PlayStation pack, would you be down for it?
Nah.
No, too much pink.
Yeah, it's a lot of pink. Like pink is cool, but too much pink is it's an eyesore for me.
What about that black and white with pink on it?
That looks kind of cool. Like it needs to be complemented. It can't be all pink. You know
Not like
I mean?
this middle one right here.
Yeah, like the actual system or that hot pink one controller. Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, the actual system would be all hot pink too.
Yeah.
So that's a big no-no. That sounds like a bright spot in the middle of your room.
Like the system is a system. You know what I mean? Like if this is your way to getting like a brand new system, all power to you. But to me, it would be distracting. It'd be like an eyesore.
See, so if you're desperate for an Xbox, go get yourself one, Barbie themed. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a raffle, so
Ain't no shame.
Yeah, ain't no shame if hey. If they're giving them away and you can win it, might as well.
Exactly.
And then who knows? You could probably sell it and get yourself a better one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A black one.
A black one.
Like an original one.
One that's not all pinked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up just another jab at the Xbox boys. But it's all fun and games, I guess.
Like I was a little confused when the PS5 came out and they were white. You know what I mean? Because they've all kind of been black systems.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I think bright colors like that kind of distract. I know they were going for a sleeker model, but yeah.
Yeah, I wanted a black one too. I would have preferred that, but It is what it is. PS5s are just pretty soon. I think the Pro is gonna be coming out, right?
I think so. And then they're gonna have different colors of it too.
Yeah,
the red, maroon, or whatever color you want to call it.
Lucky bastards! I'm probably gonna have to sell mine just to get a new one. It is what it is. I had one since launch. I don't even care what you say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. What you got to say?
I got nothing.
Your PS4 sounding like an airplane right now. Yeah. Moving on though.
Sony Airlines.
Well, Sony Airlines. Moving on. Some eagle-eyed fans over the weekend, and we have a few Across the Spiderverse news. Some eagle-eyed fans apparently came out over the weekend and are basically pointing out that there are two different versions of Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse currently playing in theaters right now.
Yeah.
saying that there was a couple, and even one of the directors of the movie, Andy Leviton, was saying that he was wondering when people were going to notice. So now there was one scene, actually there's a few scenes in particular that are different. There's a scene with Spot that's different. Ben Reilly has a different monologue after the chase scene. There's like a whole list of just different variations, and it wound up being because Sony wound up shipping the international one and unfinished versions out to movie theaters. That's why we're getting a bunch of reports saying that a lot of people couldn't hear the first act because the volume was low, and then they had to send out new issues on the second weekend to basically rectify that issue. All this different things just happening to this movie, but I mean, people took it as a fun little Easter egg or a fun little way of, being like, oh yeah, this is a different kind of, movie, but it wasn't intentional, purely accidental. Get it together, Sony.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
Get it together.
How do you accidentally ship out the international one to domestic theaters? Like, it sounds interesting, but now I kind of feel like people might be robbed of the real movie. I don't think I noticed any differences when we watched it. We watched it twice.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything.
It was all
either.
the same stuff, I think.
I'm assuming what they mean by like different. Because they sent it out to get subtitled, whatever, blah blah blah. Basically, get prepped for movie theaters, and we're gonna talk about this in the next little topic. But basically, animators were changing things up to the very last second. So what the final product was, maybe could have or could not have been what we got in the theaters when we went to go see it. I'm not sure. I didn't notice those little subtle things. Because I think one of the subtle ones that people picked up on was, I guess, the hologram of the girl. I guess at one point when she was talking to Miguel, she takes a selfie of both of them, while another one, I guess, just takes a picture of him or something like that. So, in a way, yeah, because I guess people are watching a different finished version, you know what I mean? Where they thought this one was going to be the one, but then they were like, no, this is how we want it to look. And then it wound up getting switched out. So, it is weird, but at the same time, I'm sure a movie of this, like, magnitude is a big issue. Because, like I said, it's going to bleed into our next couple topics that are really interesting, but at least with this one in particular, you could tell where like everybody's head was at when it came down to the launch of this movie.
For sure. No, very controversial stuff. No real problems with it. I think it's just weird how that kind of mix-up can happen.
Very weird. Phil Lord even came out saying, as a little fun way, saying that, for the first week, he was basically telling people to tell their movie theaters to put the volume up in the beginning because they're not going to be able to hear it. Put it up to at least 7 or 7.5. And I was just like, just imagine me as a moviegoer being like, put the volume up. Put the volume up, DJ. You know what I mean? Like, that'd just be, I would never. But, a good thing we didn't. Did you notice the audio issues? I noticed it when I was sitting
the first time, yeah. The first time we seen it, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of noticed
Gwen's dialogue in the beginning was kind of quiet. And then the music was overpowering, and then eventually it kind of fixed itself, I think. Mm-hmm. But the second time we seen it, it was much better.
Yeah, hopefully on the Blu-ray disc is a little bit
finished.
Yeah,
hopefully it's finished.
Yeah, hopefully it is finished by then. A lot of deleted scenes that I can't wait to see, because also another thing that wound up coming out over the weekend was that a lot of animators were pretty upset about the movie and about the handling of it. So animators come out around the time this movie was getting the marketing that is coming out to launch. Amy Pascal, a lot of editors, stuff like that, said that there was over 1,000 animators that worked on this film.
Yeah,
different animation styles, things that went into this movie. Now we're hearing that it was very traumatic for these animators because of the unsustainable, erratic, and largely a result of Phil Lord frequently overwriting Across the Spiderverse over 3 different directors in order to make endless last-minute changes. They reported this to Vulture, saying that Across the Spiderverse described the project as a grueling professional crucible that drove around 100 of their colleagues to leave before the film was fully finished, and those who stayed were pushed to work more than 11 hours a day, 7 days a week at certain points. He also says that they were concerned for retaliation. Virtually all the struggles they dealt with on the film, like long working hours and consistent revisions to already completed shots, could be attributed to Lord's management style. Despite Lord serving as a co-writer and a producer on Across the Spider-Verse, he allegedly demanded final approval on all the film's shots, while his co-writer, fellow producer, and frequent collaborator Chris Miller was mostly absent day to day. And they go on and say they are obviously in charge of directing, but if Phil Lord has a note that contradicts their note, his note takes precedence. One of the animators said that the movie's behind-the-scenes power dynamics, they have to do what Phil says. So there were constant changes, cuts with Phil Lord. Nothing is ever final or approved. Nothing was really set in stone. Nothing was ever done. Everything was just endlessly moving beneath our feet. They wanted it to be the best that it could be.
Wow. Fuck. That is
a lot to take.
That is kind of harsh to hear. Terrible to hear, even. Damn. This is
any thoughts on
this? Is bad. This is really bad. Nobody should be worked this hard. Granted, what we got was great. The move. Thank you to the artists that did work on it, but no one should be working like this. It's all bad. This is kind of like when we heard about what was going on with the CGI workers. This isn't a good look.
No, yeah, well, yes. Because it's a movie that they're putting out, you know what I mean? And we're hearing that Beyond the Spider-Verse is supposed to be out next year, by March. Mm-hmm. And we have all these issues with the first one, animators coming out that it was just a revolving door of animators that who just was like, this is just too hard. It's too much work. You guys are putting so much time on us. I find it to be very demanding, obviously, because a job of that, to do that animation and having different animation styles and having to draw every single frame, put VFX over it, put coloring, put grading, all that stuff, like it's a long process, an animation movie. So maybe the sensitiveness can be kind of looked at, or that lack of sensitivity can be looked at as, damn, they're just trying to get through it, despite the feelings of the employees. But I mean, they have business to conduct, right? Or
yeah, but not at the expense of like this. I don't think anyone should be working this hard. But again, granted, we got a great fucking movie. I still don't, no feelings have changed toward it, but it's still very bad to have this harsh working conditions.
Yeah, because you hear from CGI.
The first one came out 2018. Mm-hmm. That means they've kind of been working on it for a long time.
3 years.
Yeah,
it's a long time.
Yeah, and to be this harsh under conditions is kind of
no.
crazy.
It barely came out 2023, right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Could have been 4 years because they probably got greenlit back in 2019.
Yeah. See, so they I imagine they were working kind of quick on it. But yeah, for 3 years like this, and then still working as it was coming out the door, that's bad. Yeah, I can only imagine how it's gonna be for the next one.
Well, when that came out in a speedy fashion, Sony Pictures and ImagineWorks CEO Michelle Grady and producer Amy Pascal came out to respond to these disgruntled animators and basically said, One of the things about animation that makes it such a wonderful thing to work on is that you get to keep going until the story is right. If the story isn't right, you have to keep going until it is. To the workers who felt demoralized by having to revise final renders 5 times in a row, I guess, welcome to making a movie.
Yeah. See, it doesn't even sound like she gives two fucks because same thing that's going on with the writer's strike. She's just like, well, this is the price to pay. You know what I mean? This isn't a good look. Amy Pascal, it's just she doesn't care about the her workers, basically the bottom half, because all she cares about is making that fucking money.
So you think her statement doesn't help out a little bit?
Well, no, that's bad. That sounds fucking terrible.
I personally think that, maybe that's just the business side of me that thinks about it, and it's bad, yes, but they got a business to run. And here's my thing is that maybe animators and the people that do the CGI and the VFX that feel overworked and underpaid, maybe they should get unionized. Everybody else has a union, Directors Guild, Writers Guild.
Once they get unionized, they can strike.
Exactly.
And that puts them out of jobs. Who knows how much they're getting paid? You know what I mean? Who knows if they're getting dirt pay right now,
Well, if writers aren't getting shit, I'm pretty sure VFX artists aren't really getting anything.
Exactly. So, like, it's all up in the air because I don't know anyone's salary or whatnot, but I'd imagine it's also kind of dirt cheap, especially if they're able to just be like, oh, you're done here, okay, get in the next guy. You know what I mean? But for Amy to say this, yeah, this is bad. That sounds fucking terrible.
I will say, like I said, business mindset, you got to keep working until the job's done. I understand that. If by the end of the day, you got to put in crunch time hours and do some OT by the end because it's, clock's ticking. It's about to be the end. Make sure that you have the product there. I understand. I get that part from business perspective. The problem that I have with everything and where I can kind of sympathize and see where you're coming from, where it's like, oh yeah, do your fuck, like they don't give a fuck kind of thing. They just want you to do your fucking job type shit. Is that it says that they went through over 1,000 animators. 1,000. That is a lot of employees to go through in the span of 4 years. 1,000 employees, 4 years. Though, like every single person that started on that project should have finished on that project. There shouldn't have been 1,000 animators if it took 100 to do it, and you had to keep changing out those, I don't know, maybe 70% of them over and over and over again. You got to understand too. That's another thing. Working them that hard decreases morale because how she says for those that feel demoralized, that also decreases morale because you kind of see people who don't give a shit just kind of walk out. You know what I mean? And that you kind of look at them like, damn, I wish that was me. And then eventually that becomes them. You know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, well, I'm going to leave too. So, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. But from a business perspective, if the movie needs to get pumped out, the movie got to get pumped out. 4 years is a long time. 4 years is a long time. I don't know the amount of work, so I don't want to sound too insensitive about it. But at the same time, like 4 years is a long time to make a animation movie.
Oh man, I don't know much about animation. I'm not gonna pretend to know what goes on. I can barely draw a stick figure. So, but like, I don't know. This all sounds bad. I know a movie takes time, and again, like imagine if this was anyone else. You know what I mean? Think about Ezra Miller. They had that man working hard from Fantastic Beasts to The Flash, to where it kind of fucked them up mentally, right? It's clear that working conditions aren't taken under consideration, especially when you're trying to pump out a movie.
Yeah,
and that should change drastically from the actor to the director to producer, so on and so forth, all the way down to the bottom, the CGI worker, the makeup artist, the hairstylist, so on and so forth. Like everyone should be worked fairly and compensated fairly. I think overworking people like this, especially having 1,000 employees throughout your thing, having 100 employees drop, like that's that's insane. And at that point, you really got to look at what you're doing as a boss and be like, well, what's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
self-reflection.
I know the movie needs to come out, but it can't be at the expense of these people, especially people who take forever to learn this kind of thing, you know, art and whatnot. Like, that's still a, what is it? Career or whatever. And a skill.
I think that also has to do with our times as well. I think that like they need to really evaluate a lot of these workers because before, in the early 2000s, you were done with production 6 months, maybe 6 to 8 months before that movie comes out, because they got to do VFX work, post-production. If a reshoot does have to happen, it has to be something like not super crazy that is going to take forever to, you know, render and do all that crazy shit. There was a process. Nowadays, Marvel set the precedent. You're able to work up until the finish line. You've heard Taika come out talk about it, saying that they literally revised scenes up until the very end. Like Marvel does that to the very last second. The Flash actually ran out of money before they get. Otherwise, I feel like they would have been doing the same thing as well. Thor: Love and Thunder. After the movie came out, they wound up on Disney Plus fixing the VFX on it. You know what I'm saying? So like things change, and even then, I think there was when WandaVision first came out, like I think for like a good 2 months after it was over, a lot of people were putting like, oh, Disney Plus or Marvel is over here updating the ending to WandaVision, the way that it looks and stuff like that. Same thing with Miss Marvel and blah, blah, blah for continuity and stuff. But it's like, Marvel set the precedent, bro. Like, and now we're at this part where, you know, this point where they need to understand you could work them this hard, but till the very last minute, like before the very last minute was 6 months before the movie came out. You know what I mean?
And now it's post movie theaters and, you know, even onto platforms depending on if your movie ends up on one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A lot of this stuff is crazy. I fucking like, yes, work and get the product out, but not at the expense of thinking these people are just replaceable.
You're irreplaceable. Well, either which way, hopefully Pascal at the end of the day with this was just a, you know, a note that, you know, she had to show firm and toughness in the face of everybody else, and hopefully behind closed doors she came up to them and was like, guys, why didn't you just tell me? Why didn't you just tell me, guys? Let me get you guys some pizza.
No.
No, I know when my job is like, oh, staff appreciation day, here's some cheap ass pizza, go ahead and eat.
I'm like, fuck you, pay me, dog. Like, no,
I need a bonus.
It's not how that works, man. I'm pretty sure she walked up in that bitch and was like, all right, which one of you said something, and then just let out shots. There's no way.
Let the gun bang. Everybody on the floor.
Who complained about the work environment? Like, this doesn't work.
You better be lucky you still got a work environment here.
I will air this motherfucker out now.
Amy Pascal, a real life gangster. We'll keep you guys updated on that one. But still on the topic of Across the Spiderverse, on the same note as animators, the same animators are also saying that there is absolutely no way that they're going to make that March 2024 release date. With the animators saying this says, right here. They've announced that Beyond the Spider-Verse will be released in March of next year. I've seen people say, oh, you probably worked on it at the same time. There's no way the movie's coming out then. There's been progress on the pre-production side of things, but as far as production side goes, the only progress that has been made on the third one is any explorations or tests that were done before the movie was split into 2 parts. Everyone's been fully focused on Across the Spider-Verse and barely crossing the finish line. Oh yeah, now we have to do the other one. And now it's like, oh yeah, now we have to do the other one.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be here 2024 either.
I wouldn't think so. Now, he did say that there is some. He said there isn't, but there is some rendering from whatever they probably had until they were like, oh, this is going to have to be a 2-part movie. You know what I mean? So they probably have something in the beginning, probably along the lines of that, ending that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I mean, are you upset? Are you upset that you're not going to see this by March 2024?
Oh, we might not see it by March 2024.
No. They said there's nothing done on this movie, so we're not going to see it in 2024.
Unless this, like you said, unless the studio says something, this might not be a thing.
What happened to the sensitive guy a second ago that was saying, "Hey, we need to pay our animators"? I still
believe that, but until
but you
Sony
better
says,
fucking get your ass in gear.
No,
we need it to be out March 2024.
No, I'm saying unless the studio says, "Hey, it's delayed," the animators can feel it won't make it. But if Sony is like, "Do what you got to do," they're gonna do what they got to do. Now, if all the artists say "fuck this" and leave, that's a whole nother thing. Now they got a whole different problem on their hands. But I still firmly believe that. Don't work them. They should delay it. But until Sony says, okay, we're delaying it, it's not going to be delayed.
So you think, even with the animator saying himself that it's not going to make that quota, that they're still going to keep that quota?
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure.
So until we get a report saying that it's going to be delayed, then you'll be like, okay, it's delayed. Yeah. But do you care if the movie gets delayed?
Yeah. Yeah. It just means it means more work, and the people still get to like chill out before they fucking get worked into overdrive again.
So not a little part of you is like, I hope Amy Pascal's working these motherfuckers. No,
never, no. No. I'm more of just like it is what it is. When this one got delayed, I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Because it was like only a few months before, I think, and then it said it was delayed.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that sucks. But then, I think it's worth the wait. This one felt really cool, and I think with the second one being as big as it is, with the story has to tell, I think I can wait for it.
So with no work being made or anything, I mean, I think I could wait too. I would say, well, I mean, I obviously could wait. The first part was good. I can honestly wait for greatness. That's fine. You know what they say, you can't rush greatness or whatever?
Yeah.
That's fine.
You can't rush art.
Well, you just turned Russian all of a sudden.
That's from Toy Story 2.
Oh. Maybe lose my train of thought.
The one that cleans Woody so satisfyingly. The fat guy, he's like, is he ready? And the guy's like, you can't rush art.
Oh, you can't rush art.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Very good. Damn, I forgot. So, Across the Spiderverse could be potentially delayed. I know you said that you don't care, that you can wait on it. That's fine. Yeah. So, in your head, when do you think and how far do you think the delay might be? Are we thinking 2026, 2025, 2027? I mean, what 2023, 24, 25, 26, 27? If it took them 4 years to make Across the Spiderverse, do you think we're going to have to wait another 4?
At most, 26, I think.
26?
Yeah.
That's a long fucking time. The most they got is 25. That's
no.
A whole year back, that should be more than enough time.
No, it took them like 3 years to make this one.
Yeah.
3.5 maybe.
Yeah, but if you know that you're putting out another movie, you should have... Listen... You should have some things done. I know, but you look like you were ready to go. It looks like you should have some things done for this movie. You know what I mean? Not whole scenes, not maybe drawings or whatever, but like framing, colors, whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what goes into this kind of stuff, but I'm assuming you would have something. A year being pushed back a year would sound more fitting than 3 years. And on top of that, why would you want to wait? Why wouldn't you want to capitalize on the hype now?
Because you can't rush art. And if these people are already tired, Sony knows that. I think 3 years, 3 years is probably enough. If it doesn't make 2024 quota, which I'm like 95% sure it won't, 2026 is about right.
You think like 2026?
Yeah.
Early 2026 or late 2026?
Probably mid 2026.
So summertime? Like a summertime blockbuster like Across the Spiderverse was?
Yeah.
I don't know. They got till 2025 for me. preferably early 2025. But I get it. We can't rush art, but that's fine.
That's if it even gets delayed. Like I said,
Amy Pascal better be cracking the whips
until Amy says, we'll give him a break this time," and then pushes it back. But even then,
Amy Pascal better be doing something. You know what? I don't want her giving pizza to these people. She goes up in there raising hell in that bitch. We need Beyond the Spider-Verse right now. Right now.
Nah, man. They deserve that pizza. No.
Okay, give them pizza and
or
then,
a raise,
and then
like that.
and then
make
put them
them
back
eat
to
it while they work.
They only
keyboards.
Finish Beyond the Spider-Verse, or you watch Flash.
You didn't get these frames done? Alright, throw them in the Flash movie. Just one chamber.
They're like, no, Pascal, I'll work harder. I'm sorry.
Nah. Now you get to watch Back Keaton.
You're gonna watch Keaton die twice in a movie. Moving on though. Speaking about Batman, one of our Batman wound up leaving the cow behind. No more Batflick. At least until the future, unless somebody wants to announce that the Snyderverse is restored. Until that happens, I don't want to hear about it. But he is going back and hopping the border back to Marvel and putting on his old cow. We're hearing now, coming from actually a scooper on Twitter, My Time to Shine, hello. She winds up saying that this movie will be the multiverse of madness that everybody wanted. That now we're even going to see Ben Affleck back as Daredevil for the first time since 2004.
I don't know about this one. This one sounds like a stretch.
You don't think he'll do it?
No. He's tired of cape shit.
Yeah, Daredevil doesn't have a cape.
It's all the same. It's all the same. Cape, cowl, it's all the same. If we see him, it'd be.
What's your beef, stranger?
What do you mean?
What's your beef?
I don't think we're gonna get this.
No.
If we get it, that would blow my fucking mind. But I don't think we will.
You think this is fake?
Yeah.
You don't even think we'll see like a little cameo,
No.
kind of like we saw like with Christopher Reeves and everything, how they did it in The Flash?
No. He can't see. He'd be like, "Damn, what portal? What's going on?"
Whoa, guys, what's happening? I don't know, because I mean, we're hearing a lot of the older Fox characters are coming back. There's even a rumor. This one's more speculation. Not a lot of people really picked up. Like trades haven't really picked this one up, but another person that they're thinking is coming back is Jessica Alba as Sue Storm.
Yeah,
and we're gonna see the old Fantastic Four.
Very nice.
And the Fox characters.
I believe them, but I don't know about this one.
Daredevil's a stretch for you? Ben Affleck's a stretch for you?
Yeah.
Why? Because he loathed this character?
Yeah.
But that wasn't his fault. That was because of the fans. They were really rude about it.
Yeah, I can imagine they were. 2004 sounds like a scary time.
Yeah, man. Like, you should have heard the shit that was being shouted out the windows. There was no internet at the time. They're just like,
so they just said it.
I fucking hate Daredevil 2003.
They don't get to hide behind a keyboard. They just go outside. Fuck this movie.
They leave the theaters. They point at the poster and be like, "This movie was shit." That's how it basically happened.
Throw their popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Did you see that coming? Well, I don't know. It sounds cool, but I don't think it'll happen.
No, this one's a stretch.
This one might be a stretch.
Okay, because honestly, Deadpool 3 is becoming the movie that I'm very much anticipating. Like, this is my Flash. But I'm hoping this one's actually good by the end of it.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
So you're going to be the skeptical one.
Well, I don't know.
No, you're going to try to keep me in check.
No. I'm just saying. If you want to learn from someone to lower your expectations, it should definitely be me. Because holy fuck. No movie is worth the hype. Not anymore. Damn you, Flash. I mean, again, it sounds
Forwarded
cool.
again by James Gunn.
It sounds cool. I don't know if I see it happening realistically.
No. Did you like his portrayal of Daredevil?
I thought it was all right. No, like it's decent. I like the bullseye in that one, and then like my favorite thing out of that movie is the Kingpin.
This is an older movie. What are your gripes with this movie? Out of curiosity. Like off top, I guess you could say.
Off top,
Just something like
some of the acting can be pretty bad. A lot of it is like very cheesy stuff. That's probably a good part of it.
Did you like Kingpin?
Yeah, I just said that. I really liked what's his name is Kingpin. I thought he did really well.
Michael Caine, I think his name is.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Michael Caine Duncan. There you go.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't hate it. I wasn't one of those people that was like, oh, I hate this Daredevil movie. I actually thought Ben Affleck did a pretty good job. I didn't like the suit, 100%. I think that was one thing.
Weird, yeah.
I really liked his stick, whatever. Colin Farrell as Bullseye.
Yeah.
Brilliant casting.
I like them.
I don't know why he was wasted. I know a lot of people were saying shit about him, but I never understood why. I think I would say Electra's nachos was the problem, and that playground scene. I get it. That playground scene shouldn't have happened, but
yeah, no.
you know, like all the kids were just staring at him, like what did they do? They're just romantically fighting up
that
there.
That guy's blind. She's beating up a cripple. Like,
yeah, nobody made a gripe about that. Nobody even like. Even Electra wasn't even like, how are you even doing all this? Like, you're just dodging everything that I'm throwing at you.
Are you sure you're really blind?
Yeah. That should have been a question. But yeah, I personally like this, so I'm kind of hyped, and I'm happy that this is happening. It's just more like, now you're making me scared like it probably won't happen, and my hopes are going to get crushed. But no.
It happens.
I will.
Sometimes movies don't live up to the hype.
Oh, wow. Wow. What, you didn't like to get nuts again? You didn't want to get nuts?
I fucking hated it. Guys, having notifications on for when the Flash thing comes out, and you can hear me in my full rage about this fucking movie. But no,
coming out this Saturday.
Sometimes movies let you down, and irredeemable franchises can never redeem you again. I feel very robbed, and if you can have your cake and butter and whatnot with this, power to you, but I don't think I see Daredevil coming back. Be excited for the X-Men, the F4. Hell, if we see Toby Spider-Man again, but again, I don't know.
So you think everybody else but Ben Affleck's a stretch, basically? Okay, I can understand why. He's a high-profile actor, well-known director. He's a busy man. Not too busy for Zack Snyder to do a scene in his backyard. So I mean, who knows? Maybe he can come back for a cameo.
He liked Zack Snyder. He liked his Batman.
He did.
What do you call it? But I mean, again, if he shows up and we see him and it's all fine and dandy, then I'd be pretty excited. Like, you'd have me shocked. I'd be like, what the fuck? Actually?
Like this will be the jaw-dropping one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this is the movie. I hope they can keep everything under wraps. If this is a big multiverse movie where we're going to see a lot of cameos and stuff, I hope they're able to keep everything under wraps.
Yeah, for sure.
I know for a fact, like, Multiverse of Madness got leaked. That one had gotten leaked, but I didn't believe it because I think that was like the first big scoops that I was actually like looking at. So I was like, oh, they're not going to actually be able to get this kind of information. But when I seen it on screen, I was like, oh, right. So I'm kind of thinking I'm putting a little bit of faith on it, but at the same time, it could be something that can be happening and could be ultimately cut out at the end of the day. So,
for sure.
You know what I mean? So who knows? Fingers crossed. I mean, hopefully we get to see Ben Affleck as Daredevil again, maybe in an updated suit, a cooler suit, not the one from 2003. Please don't do that.
We're gonna see him in more leather. That'd be funny.
What's up with that choker too? It was a weird design. 2003 was wicked. It was a wicked year, I'll tell you. Moving on though, Simon Pegg giving an update for The Boys season 4 on the red carpet of the new Mission Impossible movie. Collider wound up asking him about his return for season 4 because, as we know, Simon Pegg's character, Huey's dad, has not been seen since season 1, I think. We didn't see him in season 2, huh? 2 or 3?
I think we saw him in 2.
For like an episode? But season 3 for sure we didn't see him.
He showed up in one episode in season 2, and now he hasn't been around for season 3.
Yeah, so season 3 he wasn't around, so we did hear that he was coming back, and he was going to be in a few more episodes in this one. And he basically confirmed that, you know how crazy the The Boys is. It's gonna get crazier. I had so much fun on that show. Even winds up going as far as saying that I'm in about 4 episodes, and it was a joy to be back. It's a great crew. They're an amazing bunch of people, and that show is sick as fuck. Which, it is a sick as fuck show. But, he played Huey's dad. I love Simon Pegg. I think he's a great actor. I think he's a great director and a producer. I think he really loves acting and stuff like that. So, seeing him back for season 4 of The Boys, and then him saying that he's going to be in like 4 episodes, I wonder what that's going to be about. Especially like how we know that season 3 ended.
Yeah. Watch them fucking murder him. The fucking Homelander is just like, fuck your dad, and then stabs him in the chest or something.
Damn, that should be crazy.
I'm pretty sure he has a death coming.
Yeah, because the ending of season 3 really showed it. And exactly. And he saw Huey butt-ass naked fighting him with Soldier Boy and, Butcher. So that shit was crazy, too.
Fucking, this show is fucking diabolical, as Butcher would say. But that's cool. We know it's sick as fuck. Thank you, Simon Pegg, for confirming what we know. Good to know he's coming back, though, too. Because I was kind of wondering that, too. Huey just goes off to fight, join the bad guy in the fucking campaign and whatnot, and we just never see him again.
Yeah. So all of season 3, like, you would have thought, him putting... Because in the beginning of season 3, he basically put, like, all that soup shit behind, basically, was doing things, like, by the book. So why wouldn't he have, like, made amends with his father, you know?
So, I mean, shit. Good to know he's coming back. Can't complain. Simon Pegg is pretty cool.
Yes. Exciting. But, Josh, I do have a question for you. Do you have an issue with trigger warnings?
No.
Let me a better question. Are you offended by movies? Have you ever seen a movie and it just offended you so bad?
There's only one. And it wasn't because of anything poking fun at me, but very offended as a fan. But that's about it.
What movie is that?
Don't make me say it.
I gotta ask.
It was The Flash.
It's because of the baby thing.
It left me offended. I was, and it's completely different to this. I'll let you explain it right now, but there's variations to there's levels to being offended of films. It doesn't have to directly jab at you or whatever you've been through, but you can feel robbed by a movie. So much so you're very offended that you saw it and gave your money up to it. You know what I mean?
No, that didn't make any sense. Being offended and being robbed are two different things.
No, you can be very offended. As a fan, you can be very offended that this
for
happened.
being robbed? Robbing you is offensive?
Oh, no. It's like one of the things. It's one of the side effects of being offended.
Oh, shit. There's levels to this. So, Quentin Tarantino comes out in an interview basically saying that feeling offended during movies is the equivalent of having a narrow mind. So the full quote is right here. La Liberation had asked him what is his thoughts on trigger warnings, and he says, I reject the word offended. That's his very first sentence. And he says, anyone could be offended by anything, frankly. I think most of the time, and there are no doubt some exceptions, saying that you are offended by a film is the first response of a very narrow mind. I didn't like it, and here's why, blah, blah, blah. But, man, being offended, art is no offense. And although in rare cases I can understand it, it's just ridiculous to be offended by a content of a film.
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. Films and art can be very blunt with their things, and it depends on how the person takes it, and each person is going to take art differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, say there's a movie about suicide or whatever. Someone may see this and be like, wow, they portrayed this beautifully, you know what I mean? And someone else can be like, I feel very offended because they were just outly portraying suicide, you know what I mean? Two different things. People just do it differently. Trigger warnings give you that thing to be like, oh, okay, now I know what I'm getting myself into, but at that point, should a film feel the need to censor itself fully to be like, oh, this is the message I want to convey.
Yeah, very, very well thought out of you. I like that. That's a very good response. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, here's a cookie.
But
you gotta hit it with a. There you go.
No, start choking over here. But I don't know. I think that's, I don't know. That's why I kind of like talking about Quentin Tarantino, because he's a very interesting mind to pick at. You know what I mean? Especially since he's an older cat. I don't agree with half the shit he says, but it's very interesting to just be like, I wonder what he means exactly.
Yeah. He even goes on and kind of gives his own experience. He says that there's a movie that came out in the last 10 years. I won't name it. That really offended me. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it was my problem, my fucking problem. I found it racist. I wanted to punch the director. I still think it's a racist movie, but it's just a fucking movie, man. So, I mean, you're right. Obviously, being offended is always going to happen.
It's very subjective.
But, like, I guess he does have a point having that label. The art shouldn't have a label on it to be like, oh, don't watch this because it may have X and Y, and you're probably not gonna like X and Y or whatever, right? It's just like if I'm watching something, right? Like I told you, we just did the review for Extraction. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. I didn't like the whole kids thing, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it was like, I wasn't offended, but I just didn't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I haven't watched the movie since until we watched it to do the review or whatever. Like me, that's what you can do as a thing. But then you have the people that take it overboard and be like, "Well, I'm gonna write a letter to the mayor and to the president, and all these people because you made
movie banned."
Yeah, like you really like when people started. What was that one movie that really caused a stir, and they really wanted it banned?
The Interview.
Yeah, that was one of them too. The Interview, that was because of Kim Jong-un, and then it wound up getting released somehow online. And yeah. So but yeah, Quentin Tarantino has a point. I mean, but at the same time, I understand trigger warnings because it potentially saves somebody from getting mad and starting a big deal.
Yes, at least then you were warned about what you're getting into.
That shit always feels like what is it? When you're doing something, say like back in high school or something, right? And you and a group of people are doing something you're not supposed to do, but you're having fun.
Yeah.
And then you have that one person in the group that grows a conscience all of a sudden. Is like, I don't think I want to do this anymore, and they walk away. But not only do they walk away, but they make it a big deal that group is still doing it, and then basically gets that whole shit shut down. That's literally the equivalent to like trigger warnings for me. You know what I mean? I think that people are watching it, but then you have those one people that see that warning, go and check it out anyways, and they're like, oh, they're still doing it. That still makes me mad, and they point fingers and make a big deal about it.
I think I get what you're saying. I don't know. It just depends, because again, it could be a very serious topic and be like, oh, this like what's the best example? 13 Reasons Why, right? Remember when that show was a big hit?
Yeah.
It got like 4 seasons, right? You reading
I hit my 13th reason today.
Reading the
what?
reading the synopsis, you can clearly tell it's about suicide and whatnot leading up to this chick's suicide. But that doesn't prepare you for everything else in the show. You know what I mean? It doesn't prepare you about the gun violence that goes on, and then what they do with that broomstick. Like it's all very just like, oh, I'm only going in because the show, but you got to prepare yourself mentally that this show is going to talk about heavier topics, or like Euphoria. People are like, oh, this is supposed to be about high schoolers, but no one prepares you that some high schools really do have addicts and whatnot.
But bringing up that 13 Reasons Why, that's another example to me about that whole, even with the trigger warning, it still has people pointing at it, because what they do with the first season, they showed the scene of the girl cutting herself or whatever and bleeding, and people thought it was too graphic, complained about it, even though there was a trigger warning in the beginning of the episode, and still got it removed. That whole scene, you can't even see it anymore.
Correct. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it in forever. So
I haven't seen it
know.
in forever either, but I know when that came out, like it was making a lot of headlines, and people were like, "Well, if you don't want to, why not have two versions? You know what I mean? If you don't want to watch it, you can watch this one." But Netflix was just like, "No, we're just gonna take it off altogether. It is too graphic," and it's like, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, it still has people that will. I feel like having a trigger warning makes it even worse because like already as soon as they see it, that's their triggering effect. They're already like, there's something in here I know I don't want to see, and I don't want other people to see it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so like, they yell and scream and bitch and moan, and it's like it ruins it for everybody.
Yeah, because then like you get say you get an action film like John Wick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kill his dog, but you don't get a trigger warning that it happens.
You got PETA calling. You just killed the fucking dog.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like you don't get the trigger warning that it happens. It just happens, and then you're like, oh, now he gets to kick ass because now he's motivated. Fuck. But yeah, you know what I mean? It depends on what you're watching, and as much as a trigger warning would be helpful to people on more serious like topics and, you know, depictions of things, I think, like you said, it also is a giant red flag on top of what you're watching, and that kind of impacts viewership.
Yeah.
Because now you got people that are like, I don't know if I want to watch this because it has so-and-so in it, when they could just go in and be like, oh, it has so-and-so in it, and then just never watch it again after the fact.
Yeah.
But they saw it the first time.
Yeah. Basically. So, yeah, Quentin Tarantino might have a point. Is this a rare W for Tarantino?
Honestly, I would say so. Yeah. Like, I wasn't vibing with that whole dog stuff last time.
But, yeah, no.
But this one makes sense. You know what I mean?
The dog stuff, and what was the other one that you were having some contingency with? I don't know. He says a lot of shit out the ass. It's crazy, but it's funny too because
now I want to propose the question then to the audience for social media purposes. But do trigger warnings make a difference on how you view things? You know what I mean? If you see a trigger warning about something you don't like, do you click off? Do you watch it anyway? Like, I kind of want to hear from you guys. So
yeah, same as I. Hit us up on our handles at FilmBros Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Moving on, we wound up hearing as well from your favorite person in this.
You stop saying this.
What? Your favorite person?
He's not my favorite person.
But you don't even know who I'm talking about.
I see the picture.
You don't see that. I haven't announced it yet, so you don't know.
That's not how this works. I can see him right there.
A second ago, you were blind.
They don't know who it is, but I know who that is. He's your favorite guy.
Oh, wow.
You like the Suicide Squad.
Wow.
You liked Peacemaker.
I didn't like Peacemaker.
Yeah, you did.
It was tolerable.
No. You liked it. You were like, you were singing the intro all over the place.
I was doing the dance in my room. I was doing the dance in my room. Oh, damn. Wasn't that?
You really want to taste it.
See, I didn't even remember the theme song, but you did. But
I remembered it because I hated that much.
Nah. You was super James Gunn fan,
intro.
bro.
People were like, oh, it's so good. I'm like, how? It's the most annoying fucking song with them dancing. It's the annoying shit. It's a bane of my existence.
I really hated that hot Cheeto eating guy. That shit was annoying throughout the whole show. Anyways,
I don't know. I can't remember his name.
Well, Variety wound up getting, and I told you already that this came out of the podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, Inside of You. Yeah. We broke down a little bit, but now this seems to be making headlines, and I should have been on top of this because I did hear the whole podcast, and I don't know if this is a new portion, but for the most part, I feel like I heard this. So, anyways, but sounds James Gunn basically says that superhero movies are getting lazy. They asked him about superhero fatigue. He said it's not necessarily superhero fatigue, but it's a big quote. But here, I will read it for you guys. So here we go. He says on the podcast, when asked if DC Studios and Peter Safran will overextend itself with content, and if superhero fatigue is on their minds. And he says, we're going to be careful with the product that we put out and making sure everything is as good as it possibly could be. People have gotten really lazy. People have gotten real lazy with their superhero stories. And they have gotten to the place where, it's a superhero, let's make a movie about it. And then, let's make a sequel because the first one did pretty well. And they aren't thinking about, why is the story special? What makes a story stand apart from the other stories? what is the story at the heart of it all? Why is this character important? What makes the story different that it feels a need for people to go see in theaters? People have gotten a little lazy, and there's a lot of biff, pow, bam stuff happening in movies, and I'm watching third acts of superhero films where I really just don't feel like there's rhyme or reason to what's happening. I don't care about the characters, and they've gotten too generic. He also says, I love very serious superhero movies, and I like very comedic superhero movies. I like ones that are murder mystery, but it's with superheroes. I like to see those different type of stories as opposed to seeing the same story told over and over and over again.
So we know what he's talking about.
What is he talking about?
He's talking about The Flash.
He's not talking about the Flash.
He's talking about The Flash and every other movie just like it. But very interesting coming from him because he said it was great.
And it's the same thing.
And it's the same thing. It's the shit he's talking about here.
Well, that, I mean,
is it another backstep?
That's something that we're gonna obviously. I told you about one of our episode ideas, so you guys look out for that one. We're gonna break all that down a little bit more, but at least with this one, when it comes down to superhero fatigue, and his response to it, he knows that The Flash wasn't his movie. Why he decided to put a stamp on it to try to make it sell, I don't know if that was a Zaslav thing saying, "Hey, you need to promote these movies. Hey, we need you to bump it up so it can get us paid." I don't know what the behind the scenes was about that. But he did it. He put his name down. Not only said it was the best movie of the year, but also one of the greatest comic book movies of all time.
Yeah.
But he's not all to blame about it either. Muschietti said that VFX was going to be done by the time the movie comes out, knowing damn well nothing was going to happen anymore. I think all these people just lied, hoping that these movies were going to get better. All these movies are in a limbo state right now where, we don't even know where it's going as of right now. So him coming out and saying that, oh, there's no rhyme or reason in all third acts. Now, I haven't seen Guardians 3, so I can't speak on that one. I know for a fact in Volume 2, he did that, where there was just a big old fight at the end of Volume 2. Oh, it was against his dad. Well, I mean, at the same time.
So, giant CGI fight.
Yeah, giant CGI fight. Rhyme or reason. They couldn't just talk it out. They couldn't just be like, look, Dad, no, don't do this kind of thing. You know what I mean? In his first Guardians movie, no rhyme or reason. They just started dancing to get out of the fight. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's the lack of self-awareness for me, man. It's just the fact that I have faith in him. I think he does good movies sometimes. I will say, like, the Suicide Squad is one where, like, it was a giant CGI battle at the end of it, but it built up to something. Like, it actually had a payoff. Same thing with Brightburn. Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, it was leading up to something, and I kind of felt left down with the whole dance thing. I know some people really liked it, and, I guess I can say okay, I guess, to that, but he promoted a movie that does the exact same thing, but is also saying on a podcast saying that that's the exact reason why these movies are having a downfall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. I think I get what you're saying. I just, there's a lot of movies like this where it's like, boom, bang, pow. We don't really care what their ambition is, It's a lot of just, oh, now we have to fight because of it's the ending and people need a big thing to remember. That just comes with the formula nowadays. Since MCU dominates the box office, you're kind of just like, well, that's what we expect. DC had the Flash, and then Black Adam is a repeat offender. You had Shazam 2. Hopefully Blue Beetle is a little different. Aquaman and whatnot, but it's been a thing for a while.
But I don't think it's all movies, though.
It's not all. Some of them stand out, and you're very visibly like, okay, I care. I'm very invested in this. I hope it gets a sequel and whatnot. But
I will say there is some that do get random sequels and get greenlit, but I don't think it's all of them. I don't think all movies have come to that point. All superhero movies.
Maybe not all. Just the ones in recent memory.
I mean, there's one that we just watched recently, that Bloodsport or Bloodshot, whatever.
Yeah.
That movie.
That shit was boring.
That shit was ass.
Quick review with the FilmBros. That shit was boring. It had Vin Diesel. It came out during, I think it came out after his last Riddick movie. He didn't have a franchise. He had the Fast franchise.
Is that what happened?
I think so. Riddick flopped, and I think he tried to do this one to like make a name for that character. It was a DC movie, right? It was meant to be DC.
Oh, it came out in 2020.
Bloodsport or Bloodshot?
Bloodshot. Yeah.
No fuck. I feel like that's
During the pandemic.
I feel like that is very Mandela effect. There's no way that movie
March
feels
13th.
older.
It was like right there when the pandemic was starting.
That movie feels so much older. There's no way that came out recently. What the fuck? Either way, it's ass. No action fight. Not very memorable. That's probably a bad example.
Yeah, that movie was garbage. That's an example. That's a good example. That's a good example of a movie having a
Well,
big
what not to
CGI
do.
fight. Exactly. Big CGI fight. No story. They were just like, let's put Vin Diesel in a tank top and put him, to fight people. It's like, nah. Take the time, make the movie. I'm hoping,
Care about what you're writing. That's a big thing.
and I mean, hopefully we get that carefulness out of James Gunn, right? Especially with his new DCU around the corner.
Hopefully the DCU isn't repeat offenders of this thing he so says he hates.
Oh man, he just looks like a villain to me. is that just me or?
James Gunn looks
Yeah,
like a villain.
Yeah, like I'm not even trying to be an asshole.
Oh,
or
he's
nothing.
plotting.
He looks like. Doesn't he look like he just bites people? Like he just wants to come over here and.
He just be like chomp,
Chomp, yeah,
chomp.
chomp, and then afterwards he'd just be like, beetle. I don't know. Anyways,
He flies away.
moving on though with James Gunn actually, and hearing new reports saying that we got potentially our Superman Lois and our Lex Luthor. So let's start with Lex Luthor because it seems like we're getting one or the other Skarsgård brother, and at this point, James is just like, I don't give a shit who it is, just pick a Skarsgård because we need that within this franchise. Alexander Skarsgård and Bill Skarsgård. Alexander Skarsgård has been in multiple movies. I can't think one off top, but I know Bill Skarsgård's been in it. So I mean, he was the clown in that one. So
What? He was just in John Wick 4, man.
oh, and in John Wick 4, yes, very good,
Disrespectful.
and like his character.
You fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
More on that later. I think he could probably, because of that role, I think he could probably pull off of Lex Luthor.
Oh, because of that role? Nah, I don't think he can pull off a Lex Luthor because of that role, bro.
I think so.
He didn't. Yeah, with it, that'll be later. I would see Bill Skarsgård as more of a scarecrow, or like a Riddler. I'd say a Riddler too.
That's messed up.
Scarecrow or Riddler? That's not bad.
Scarecrow more, but Riddler, man, that is crazy listing.
I could see him looking like a Riddler, like a very hair comb to the side like this, and then with the top hat, like an actual comic accurate Riddler.
The one we had for Gotham.
Yeah, one with like a coat and everything with the Riddler all over him. Like I could see him wearing that.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm onto something. And then
You're like, walk with me.
Alexander Skarsgård, I think he would do better. I think
As Lex?
I would think so. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, his acting, like I like them both as actors. I think Bill Skarsgård does a little bit. Honestly, I think the whole Skarsgård family does a lot of work. You know who their dad is?
No.
He was the dude in Andor that gave like that dope ass monologue. The older man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
what
their
the
dad.
fuck?
Yeah,
That's cool.
he still is there, just showing them how dad gets shit done.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but these are his boys. He's probably like, I'm gonna get you boys in a DC movie.
He produced greatness. Holy fuck.
Yeah, dude.
They're
Those
really
nuts,
good
bro.
actors.
Those nuts are worth money.
They're really good actors.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say Alexander Skarsgård for that. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or would you still see Bill?
I see more Bill because I can't remember Alex from many other things.
I'm trying to think of like a movie he was in. I just off top like maybe it's a new movie syndrome, but right here. He is in. Oh, he played in The Legend of Tarzan. My man. Oh, Infinity Pool. That's what I was trying to think of. The Northman. He was in Battleship. Zoolander. Oh, he was in Godzilla vs. Kong. He was the one that the girl kept calling like a coward or whatever.
Yeah.
The soldier. Yeah, he came out in a lot of movies, to be honest.
Interesting.
He was in True Blood.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a very... I think he would make a good Lex Luthor. I think out of both of them, him. I think, say, Bill for, like I said, Scarecrow preferably, but I could see him doing the Riddler as well. Like, just the way his goofiness happens in it, like, I feel like he can do something crazy like that.
Maybe.
But moving on to Superman and Lois Lane. So we got 3 contenders that I apparently, according to insiders, were the ones that came in as couple testing for James Gunn over this past weekend, and that we might be able to figure out who his Superman and Lois is by the end of this week.
Sheesh.
So, top spot is Nicholas Hoult and Rachel Brosnahan. Second couple is David Corenswet and Emma McKay. And third is Tom Brittany and Phoebe Denovar. Hopefully I didn't butcher their names, but look them up, guys. Those are the contenders. Josh, looking at them off top, what do you think?
I think maybe those first 2.
Nicholas Hoult?
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult as Superman?
Think about it. Oh, wait, no, never mind. No. The middle. Probably more the middle one. I don't know. These are hard. This is all hard because I can't remember where they're from, and then I'm still stuck on Henry. So I think
Nicholas Hoult was in The Menu, the movie that you didn't watch today that you were supposed to watch.
I was going to, man. I got busy. Jesus.
He didn't get busy.
Yes, I did.
Nicholas Hoult, he played Beast as well. Rachel Brosnahan, she was in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen her.
I've seen the commercials. I've never seen
Yeah, she's from there. David Corenswet? I don't know how to say it. I don't know where he's from. I think I seen somebody post that he was on a show on the CW or something.
Yeah.
So making his way up.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. Emma McKay, never heard of her, but she's really pretty. I think she's pretty. I don't know if like Lois Lane. I don't know if it screams Lois Lane. I think the one that screams Lois Lane is this one right here. This bottom one.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Phoebe Denovar, and maybe Superman. If you want that Christopher Reeves type look, the best bet would be the David Corenswet. But to be honest, I would want a firm Superman, and Tom Brittany looks pretty strong.
Yeah.
Like he might do some damage and shit. This one kind of looks like. This one looks like David Corenswet looks like, oh, you want her home by 10, and then Tom Brittany looks like she's calling me daddy now. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah. So I mean, what kind of vibe are we going for Superman?
I think the bottom one, last one.
That she calls me daddy now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that, but
Oh.
yeah. Because I don't need my Superman scrawny. You know what I mean? I know he's trying to go for this whole thing, but I need that boy built, stocky. You know what I mean? Like I need him strong. Don't give me a slim Superman, otherwise you're kind of starting off on the wrong foot.
Let me see what he looks like. David. There we go. David Cornsweat. Let me see images. Him as Superman. Oh, yep. There's some fan ones already. Wow, somebody just put him in the MOS suit. This fucking guy who does shit like that. Oh yeah, he's kind of scrawny. He would have to like get yoked a little bit.
Yeah.
He could probably get yoked. That don't look like a Superman to you? No.
No.
Damn, they're quick with these fan arts.
They need to be built, a little bit. You know what I mean? Even Tyler Hoechlin's Superman is like built.
Oh, he padding.
Some of it is padding, but you've seen Teen Wolf. He's naturally built.
Yeah, he is. He kind of is, yeah.
Not all of that is padding, I'm for sure.
No, of it's padding. Some of it's padding. You could tell. I think, and the worst offender was that one clip that everybody's playing with him in that older suit or whatever. I'm just like, y'all really posting this man a lot in that weird padded suit.
So much, man.
That they post that a lot.
Yeah, that and like it's just overused, and the suit is kind of cheap. I think. Like you wouldn't post Spider-Man in his wrestler outfit. You know what I mean? Like that's not how that works.
Oh, so you just don't like that they post him a lot in that suit.
Yeah.
But it's not a little fun nod for you. It's not like, oh yeah, like this is like his old
It was
suit.
fun at first, but everyone overuses it to be like, oh, this show is peak. But I'm like, that's the only clip you show in. So come
That's
on
true.
now.
Even that one scene when they were like, oh yeah, like this can be a movie or whatever in that one fight scene or whatever. Yeah, that shit don't even look that good. And then after that, nobody ever posted about it ever again.
Exactly.
Got shut down quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But these superhero castings, I mean, only time's gonna tell. I still want Henry Cavill back though. It's really hard to see anybody else do it. And like, it's getting to the point where like I'm now feeling that it's time to let go. Feeling, I feel like I'm out of fight in me, man. I can't fight for Henry Cavill no more, bro. This is where we tap out.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been tapped out. That whole, I don't think I covered it in our review, but when he says bye to Ben Affleck, I'm just like, damn, that's.
Was that you saying bye? Were you like, what?
I was like, some other time.
You were like, another time then.
Mm-hmm. That shit had me. I was like, fuck.
It's okay. You'll see him in Daredevil. I mean, not Daredevil. In Deadpool 3 as Daredevil. Maybe.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm still stuck up on Henry also. Again, whoever this person chooses is in for some luck or bad luck because they have to follow him up. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Good or bad, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, like BVS, like you're going to have to follow that. And I don't know any of these people that are good enough to do that. So
yeah, actor wise, the only actor I know who can act but just doesn't get recognized for it for whatever reason is Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
I don't know the other two. I haven't seen them act, so I
Mhm.
would have to look at some of their things. The only person that I can think can outact Henry Cavill as Superman is probably Nicholas Hoult, but his look doesn't fit Superman in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could change if he gets stocky. Who knows? But was he stocky as Beast?
No, he wasn't.
He was scrawny, huh?
He was still kind of scrawny, and then when he would turn, he was just Beast, but a little like.
What about towards
more,
that? Like the ending ones, like Apocalypse and stuff. They didn't make him more beefy either. He was just still scrawny.
Yeah, when he fights Wolverine in Days of Future Past, he was still skinny as fuck.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him beefy at all. So he would have to beef up. Everybody except for Tom Brittney would have to beef up because he already looks beefed. He would just have to obviously get like completely six-packed out. And
Why
shit
why didn't James Gunn choose what's his name? The dude that plays Jack Reacher or not Jack Reacher?
Alan Rickman?
Alan Rickman. That stocky motherfucker.
Damn, he is too stocky. He's too stocky. But he looks more like a Homelander to me. Like if he were to be in the suit.
Nah, man, nah. He could do
Somebody
it.
said the only right choice. You think so?
No, I don't know. They chose the wrong picture for that lady. I don't know what the fuck. That picture doesn't scream Lois Lane or like model type. It screams more like I'm just taking a nice picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like her smile is decent, but the entire photo looks very like wrong.
Oh, her as Lois. They want to put her as Lois Lane. Is Lois usually brown in the comics? No.
Yeah, she's brunette.
Oh, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so maybe. So maybe she could do it. I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. Somebody put this one. Matt Bomer. Oh, he looks like a Superman.
It looks like a mix of
Henry Cavill and like Christopher Reeves, huh?
Yeah, like if they had a baby.
It's so
I
weird.
don't know how they have a baby. They're two men, but yeah, yeah.
This girl's eyes are so blue, like the ocean.
I don't know, man. I'm still stuck up on
What's her
everything.
name?
Else.
Perfect actress to represent Alexis Blendell and Matt Bomer. Damn, that'd be crazy. James Gunn is totally sleeping. I honestly, I looked at them, whoever posted this
Whoever
one
put
down in
them
the
up.
tweet. I can see that happening, but I don't know. Matt Bomer's face kind of freaks me out because it does look like Christopher Reeves.
A little too good. Like they cloned him.
Yeah, and this was like the product.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, there a lot of news outlets are saying like they might have the actual people by this week. So if that comes into light, we'll keep you guys updated. But for now, that's gonna wrap up this episode. We ran through all of our topics for it, so we are done. But if there's something that we missed, something that we should have been talking about but we didn't, a movie that you guys want us to review, you guys want to support us in a big way, Josh, let them know where they can let us know.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post when new episodes are up. You can hit us up there for anything you want us to talk about. Listen to us on the go on Spotify and Apple Podcast or FilmBros Podcast or at FilmBros Podcast. My bad. Support us in a big way. Buzzsprout. Subscribe there. Links are in our bios. You get special shout outs and special perks and whatnot from us. When it's all said and done, subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah, and with that being said, I'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.